Hello, Stephen again. Today I thought I'd do a video about a firework festival in the UK. So in America they have the fireworks on July the 4th to celebrate Independence Day. And I know in Japan they have the Hanabi Taikai in August, maybe celebrate the summer holidays. But in the UK we have our firework festival on November the 5th. And it's to celebrate the King James I not being killed in an assassination attempt. So on November the 5th, 1605, a group of Catholics, in total there were 13 men in the group, they tried to kill King James I, and they did this by putting 36 barrels of gunpowder underneath the Houses of Parliament, and their plan was to blow up the Houses of Parliament and kill the King, and maybe even kill some other important members of the Parliament. But fortunately for the King at the time, the guards found out about the plot, and they caught one of the members of the group, called Guy Fawkes, underneath the Houses of Parliament. So after they caught Guy Fawkes, they questioned him, and he wouldn't tell them any information. So then they tortured him, and they got the names of the other members of the group. And then after they tortured him, they killed him, and they cut him up into 4 pieces and sent him to the 4 corners of the country to warn anybody else against trying to kill the king. On the night of November the 5th, to celebrate the fact that the King's life had been saved, lots of bonfires were lit around London. And so, because of this happening on November the 5th, the King James made it an annual holiday, and every year on November the 5th people would burn bonfires, and then more recently they started having fireworks celebrations. So these days people still celebrate Bonfire Night or Guy Fawkes as they always have done, and usually people will have maybe a little firework display in their back garden. You can buy fireworks from the local supermarket, and it's not that expensive, and usually the children will watch from the window or from a distance, and one of the parents will light the fireworks. And we also have sparklers, to people like writing their name with the sparklers. And then usually a local school or one of the local parks will put on a big firework display, and they'll have a big bonfire that you can go and see. Another thing that people have done for a long time is that people make dolls, big dolls, human-sized dolls, called Guys, named after Guy Fawkes, and the children in the daytime they walk round with the doll in a wheelbarrow. And they say a penny for the guy, and people give them some money, and they collect some money for their doll, and then in the evening they put their doll on the fire and they burn it. So they burn the guy, and so that's something that's been going on for a long time. In England on Bonfire Night, one of the traditional things that we eat is toffee apples. And the way that we make them is that we choose our apples first by bobbing for apples. So when you bob for apples, you put your hands behind your back and you have to try and get your apple just using your teeth. So I'm going to try and bob for an apple. Okay, so. So this is the apple that I got by bobbing. So this is the apple that I'm going to use to make my toffee apple. Okay? So this is the apple that you just saw me bob for. You can see my teeth mark in it still. And I'm going to make a caramel sauce using just butter and some syrup. I've added the butter to the pan. I'm just going to let that melt. Then once that's melted, I'm going to add the syrup to the mix. Added the syrup. I'm going to mix it together for just a short time so that the sugar doesn't burn, and then we can make our toffee apple. So then finally we can make our toffee apple. So here's my finished toffee apple. You can see the toffee dripping off the apple. So I'm going to try a bit now. It looks very nice. That's really good. I hope you enjoy watching the video about Guy Fawkes and Bonfire Night. I personally think it's a very interesting story in British history, and it's also a very nice national holiday. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you've got any questions or you want to know some more information or anything like that, please feel free to leave a comment on my page or on this video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please feel free to subscribe. The more people the better, and I look forward to making my next video. Okay, have a good week. Bye.